Okay, we're on 15 and 16 of the Unit 2 packet. This problem actually goes on to the next page as well. So we want to complete number 7 together, and then I want you guys to try number 8 on your own and see how it goes. So let's read number 7. It says Ithaca, New York gets an average of 35.4 inches of rain each year with a standard deviation of 4.2. Assume the normal model applies. Okay, so what they're telling us right now is that there's a population distribution of that's normal with a mean of 35.4 and a standard deviation of 4.2. Looks like that. I don't yet see a sample size. Nowhere here does it say we're going to look at only a couple of years at a time. So let's keep reading. Then it says, what percentage of years did Ithaca get more than 40 inches, of rainfall? Okay, so first it says what percentage. So that's a normal CDF question. And then it says get more than 40 inches of rainfall. So it says of all the years. It does not talk about a smaller group of years, and it does not give a sample size. So here we need to use the population information, which is right here above. So this says more than 40 inches. This is giving me a lower bound only. So to set up normal CDF, we would have our lower bound at 40, our upper bound as a series of 9s, our mean as 35.4, and our standard deviation is 4.2. And if you need to pause the video to find the answer real quick, go ahead and do so, because the answer I got was 0.1367 when I rounded that to 4 decimal places. Let's keep going. Then it says, describe the driest 20% of all years. Okay, so first, all years is the entire population. And here, they're giving me a percent. So this means I'm going to use inverse norm. The question is the driest 20%, are those the bottom or the top? And if we're talking about rainfall, then dry means bad in terms of rainfall, and that would be the bottom 20%. So if we were to draw a picture, just to make sure we're clear, 35.4 is in the middle, and there's some number over here where 20% of the picture is shaded in. We need to figure out what is that number. So to use inverse norm, we put in the 20% on the left, the mean of 35.4, and the standard deviation of 4.2. And take a second to pause if you need to, but I got 31.87 inches of rainfall. That would be the bottom 20% or the driest 20%. Okay, I do see the word sampling distribution in part C on the top of the next page. So let's keep going. Good stuff is happening. It says, if you plan to stay in Ithaca for 4 years, describe the sampling distribution of rain during the 4-year period. Okay, so first, previous example, it's the same mean as this population, but we take the population standard deviation and we divide by the square root of the sample size. So now we need to figure out what is n. And it says here that we're going to stay in Ithaca for 4 years. So this is telling me n is equal to 4. Okay, let's find the sampling distribution. So let's first find our mean. That's going to be 35.4, same as the mean from the population. Now let's compute our standard deviation. Our standard deviation would look like sigma divided by the square root of n. So we want to go back up to the original problem statement. Our sigma was 4.2 and our n was 4. So we're going to do 4.2 divided by the square root of 4. And when we simplify all that in our calculator, we get a standard deviation of 2.1. So altogether, our sampling distribution for 4 years has a mean of 35.4 and a standard deviation of 2.1. Now that we have that information, we know, we know the mean, right? This is the mean, and this is the standard deviation for the sampling distribution for the average rainfall. Now let's answer the follow-up question. What is the probability? Okay, well, I said that once we find our sampling distribution, they're always going to ask us a normal CDF question. So that is the wording there. And then look at this, that those 4 years average less than 30 inches. Okay, 4-year average. This is referring to the group's average. And then it says less than 30 inches. So they're giving me an upper only if they want to go less than 30 inches. Okay, let's try it. That would look like normal CDF. Our lower bound has to be negative. Our upper bound is 30. Our mean is 35.4. And because we're referring to the group average, we must use the standard deviation from the sampling distribution, which is much smaller than the original standard deviation. So if you need to, pause the video, but I got 0.0056. Oh, sorry, 0.0051. It was 506. So 51 when I rounded it. If there are any questions about any of this, please let me know. I'm here to help.